is quick introduction about partners that are actually talking to you right now. Carson, do you want to just introduce yourself quickly?
Yeah, Carson Jones here. I've been an independent for a decade plus now. After a brief career in corporate accounting, I've been investing passively for many years. I've actually invested passively in, oil for quite some time now. Doing it as from the inside. This is my fourth deal. So anyway, but how I got here, I believe it's pretty much virtually impossible to save yourself to prosperity with the government printing trillions of dollars nowadays. That's why I'm doing this for myself, my investors, which include my 74-year-old parents, not 40s. But
We still were 40s, right?
That's right. So
No, pleasure, Carson. Thank you so much. And enough on myself a little bit. A lot of people that are actually on this webinar know me for a long time. I'm by trade an engineer. I got myself into entrepreneur a long time ago by buying single apartments units around Chicago. We transitioned really to become an entrepreneur in the multifamily space back in 2019, where we joined a group out of Dallas, and we developed and we actually grew from that into also an oil, right? As an entrepreneur and also just open-minded, we know what's happening in multifamily space now these days with interest rates. So we started looking. We've been very successful in multifamily space, but we're looking also for alternative diversification for ourselves and also for our investors. And that's how we really got into the oil and gas space. I think it's just the right time, the right climate, economically from us. So I've done several multifamily deals over the years, and we've done one oil deal, which we'll actually talk a little bit in a few minutes, and it's been very successful. So with that, a pleasure on our side to host you here. Thank you for your time. So what we're going to talk about today is there's going to be a lot of data, and for a lot of investors, there are multifamily investors that are coming from our side. It's drinking from the fire hose. We totally understand. We want to provide as much detail and information in front of you what this deal is all about and how you're going to benefit from it and how we can help you get out of the rat race. We're all in the same boat. We're both here as a general partners, but also as an investor and partner in this deal. So we've just done an introduction of how we got here. We want to give a little bit of update on our Raspberry field, which we closed earlier in August from capital raise, and we'll talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about project overview. What this project, the oil project, is all about. Why we like this project, the storage field, and we're going to talk about economics and phases that are they're involved in this deal. Then we'll actually jump to the video with our operator who owns 50% of this project that we're selling right now to ourselves and investors. And then we're going to talk about timelines and then really the next steps and call to action. And then we'll take it really a little bit of a Q&A. That's why I'm encouraging everybody that during our presentation, please put questions. If there's anything that we can answer, anything that you feel like you want to have knowledge about, please share it. If not during this presentation, we can take this offline and talk about. So Carson, do you want to just give it an update a little bit about Raspberry Field? I know there's a lot of investors. They invested with us.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and give a little bit of update.
I think we have several people on the deal on here. We have good oil shows. Wells are being put online. Checks are on the way as of now. So, just should be done, with the rework, recompletion here in the next week or two, I would say. So,
yeah, our projections are the phase one, which is going to be very similar to this one, is going to be done at end of November. And then from there, we're going to just expand more into those mid phases, and then phase two eventually, which we advertise. Anybody that's not familiar with the previous projects, we can share what that is all about. Please reach out. We'll send the contact information. We feel from our perspective that we're going to really, we're going to make a ton of money. There's a lot of cash flow. The way that we look at these deals, we want to make sure that there's a good economics behind it, but also low risk. Just from my perspective, over several months, we've looked at several different deals, and we actually picked this for a reason, because we care all about low risk, but the good financial aspect for our investors. So with that, we're going to jump into a project overview. Carson, do you want to just walk us through?
Yeah, so there's two phases to it. Phase one is 2.25 million. There's a phase two, which is horizontal drilling, and you'll have first right to refusal on that. And basically, there's 3 wells that we can reactivate. It's 35 barrels a day on those. That's one of the things that makes this pretty low risk is, you're pretty much starting on a $45,000 investment with $500 a month. And then you have 10 wells to go after that. In those additional 10 wells, there's 3 pay zones. So you basically have a total of 30 shots at it. So also those pay zones provide longevity in terms of when one depletes, we can go to another one. So, it provides longevity. It could go on for decades, 20 to 50 years with that many pay zones. So 13 total wells. We're using either a Halliburton or a Schlumberger well log, goes down there and, gets a clear picture. It's state-of-the-art technology to pick the best zones to go into. So anyway, on phase two, you're looking at 1.5 million, and that's 2 horizontal drills. And 1.5 million would probably get you 1 horizontal drill if you were using an outside operator. The benefit is we have our own rig, so we're doing this a lot cheaper than if you had to bring in a contract crew and all that. These are deeper zones: Eagle Ford, Austin Chalk. 30 days to complete 2 of them. Probably second to third quarter of 2024 is when we do the first right to refusal. But there's a little graphic down below that demonstrates what a vertical and horizontal drill will look like. And this where it's hooking over on the horizontal drill, that's several acres that goes out, to give you an idea of how much oil that can suck out of the ground. So anyway,
One thing I want to add to is, so we're going to focus today on that phase one. This is where we're raising the capital, $2.25 million, which will kind of explain the economics a little bit later. But the focus is, I always encourage my investor to look at bigger picture, right? We know we're working on the phase one, but the phase two is really where we start seeing huge amount of X factor for cash flow, right? So even though we're not going to do this right away, we want investors to understand that there is brand new drills that we have to really work with, and it's going to be decisions going to be made, how deep and what zones are going to go after we complete the phase one.
Yeah.
So